My friends, goodness, what a treat it is to actually get to make these videos nowadays, seeing as they get a little bit more rare as time progresses here. But anyways, fantastic to be sharing with you all. Geez, it's been a while. I hope everything's been going amazing in your life. I have a rather interesting video to make for you all today. It's inspired by this video that I made at the beginning of 2014. It was called What Happened to Jonathan Budd? And I haven't checked it recently. Last time I checked it, it was at like 17,000 or 18,000 views or something like that. And it routinely gets a lot more views. It gets shared a lot of places, actually, and I get these messages all the time from people who are like, my psychologist shared this with me, or this or that or whatever. It's pretty funny, but it was one of the videos, probably, top videos I've ever created that really struck a chord with people. And I imagine that it struck a chord with people because of what I shared. You might have seen that video. If you haven't seen that video, you can go back and watch it. It's called What Happened to Jonathan Budd? But I sort of came out and shared a honest, an honest sort of traumatic experience that I had and its impact on my life with everyone, because I wanted to do that. And it's actually important to discuss those types of things if you want to be a human being that actually moves forward at optimal levels and really reaches your full potential in life. And because one of my core commitments, something that is a fundamental commitment that I have in this lifetime, is to reach my full potential. It is to strive for what I am most capable of. I don't have the luxury of ignoring anything in my life. I don't have the luxury of burying things. I have to face and overcome whatever's stopping me. And come to find out, that experience, the pain, the trauma that was stored from that was actually deeply affecting me negatively in a lot of ways in my life. And so I had to go back and I had to face it. So what I want to make in this video is an actual update on what's happened in the last 2 years almost. Because that was close to the beginning of my journey when I came out and shared that. But over the last 2 years, I've actually gone through a whole other part of the journey, and that journey just completed for me last week. I ended close to it was exactly 2 years of what's called EMDR therapy, which is a process, a technique where you go in and you basically desensitize post-traumatic stress and traumatic memories and all these types of things. And I was committed to that for 2 years, and I just ended that treatment. And during those 2 years, you probably noticed that I wasn't really public. I didn't really want to be public. There was nothing in my DNA, nothing in my body, nothing in my motivation that wanted to be public at all. And that's actually quite natural, I believe. Hold on, let me get out of here. There's a weed whacker guy in the background. And guys, in case you haven't seen, this is my new house. I haven't really done a tour or anything. Oh boy, look who we have here. Who is walking around? Looney, say hi. This is Family Land, okay? So you guys all might remember a few years ago, these were R8 videos and, whatever other videos. It is far from being R8 videos and all that stuff now. Now it's family sound healing rooms and family playrooms and overall just much more family-friendly living. At our last place, we lived on the bluffs, and I think Luna would have walked off the cliffs within like a week. Here's my office. This is where all the magic happens. Anyways, as I was saying, I want to find a good spot here. It wasn't really natural to be public over the last 2 years. When you're doing really deep work sometimes, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's not like there's any one absolute way that we do deep work. But when you're doing really deep work, sometimes you don't want to be public. And, you have to go internal. There's a time to really be in the cave. There's a time to really be with yourself and not have your energy be put out to the world and not have your energy, be given to everyone else. And I think I went through this period for so many years where I just was constantly giving energy everywhere, and constantly my energy was being dedicated to teaching and to this and to that. And when it came time to actually do my deepest work, when it came time to face my biggest demons, that just really changed. It was like this thing I couldn't control, and the energy just shifted, and it was like, no, Jonathan, like, you need to have your energy here right now. Like, you need to have your energy focused on you and inside, and you need to do this work. And this work is fundamental to you actually reaching your full potential. And, if there's anything big that you get out of this video today, maybe it's that. Maybe it's a sort of a reflection, because I believe we're all mirrors in each other's lives. If there's somebody in your life, if you're in a relationship with somebody for whatever reason, that person's a mirror for you in some way. And what I realized when I knew that I had to do this work, and believe me, I put it off for a while. Okay, I first had the memory, I first had the experience in the end of 2012, right after I launched Futuristic Marketing. I had this, full body flashback of what happened. And I didn't really dive into the work then. I put it off. Okay, I went and I got involved in launching companies and other businesses, and I had even more, difficult experiences, which, I don't know, trace the threads. Maybe there's something to that. I was avoiding really doing the deep work. I did not fully take it on. And at the end of 2013, after, the crash of Rippling and that whole experience, so many things culminated where I knew I couldn't avoid it anymore. And I knew that I could no longer focus my energy, my life on anything that wasn't what I will call a true vision. And I think that we all get true visions at times in our life. Sometimes we have to go through learning experiences to get a true vision. But true visions, nonetheless, when they hit us, and we know it. We know something so deep in our core, and we can't ignore it. And I actually received a true vision a very long time ago for what my life's work, the work aspect of my life, sometimes also called the Dharma. What's the way that your life, your work, is meant to serve the world, your destiny, your purpose, etc. And I knew for a long time that it wasn't information products. I loved information products, but it didn't feel like my dharma. It felt like a step in the process, a part of the process. Maybe you can relate to this with things in your own life. But in 2011, in a ceremony in the middle of the Amazon rainforest, I received a life vision, my life's vision in a way. And you're going to see about this company very soon. I've kept it more or less hidden from the public for the last 22 months as I've been doing this foundational deep inner work on myself so that I could reach the fullest potential of my life, so that nothing was stopping me. There was no blocks. There was no, unseen, unconscious traumas and memories and pains and things that could be affecting my beliefs, causing stories and limiting beliefs. All these things I've been teaching people about. I had to go do that work myself because there was no way that I was going to risk the sacredness of the vision that I was given for, some sort of emotional healing or personal development work that I wasn't willing to do. No way. As a warrior, we have to be willing to do our own work, our own deep interpersonal work to reach our fullest potential in life. That is a principle that you've got to be committed to living. And so I had to walk the walk. And during that time, coincidentally, I've also been developing under the surface, infrastructurally, foundationally, the biggest company of my life and also the true vision that I was given for my life. And that's a company that is dedicated to changing the way the world produces and consumes energy. We have partnered with the most iconic visionary entrepreneurs on the planet to roll out solutions to help build a renewable energy economy, to shift trillions of dollars of wealth back to the hands of the people in the process, to help foster economic growth and unbelievable amounts of American jobs that are all connected to this renewable economy, and to help save homeowners and businesses and everybody else, God knows how many billions and hundreds of billions of dollars over the next few decades off electricity bills, as the cost of renewables has now come down so much that we can competitively beat the price of electricity in most states in this country right now without it costing a dime out of pocket for anyone to be involved. So anyways, I'm not going to go off into that. You guys will likely be seeing it soon. The company is currently in beta. We've been in stealth mode, just testing things, refining processes, making it so that it's organically working incredibly well before we really start telling the world about it. But I knew that I had to go through this personal development process before I was really going to be able to reach my full potential in life. And so last week I completed, I won't say I completed that process because I don't believe that process is ever done. But a major part of that process, which for me was EMDR therapy, it was at the beginning, twice a week commitment. I was going 2 times a week. It's very tough to go 2 times a week to that kind of work. Let me tell you, it's like you're constantly living in it. And then it shifted to once a week, and then it shifted to twice a month. 2 years was a long time, as I did more and more of the work. But what the basis of that work was going back in and looking at every single traumatic memory that I've been through. And there was a whole world of things that occurred based off the original sort of molestation that I shared with everybody in that other video. That really set my life off on a pretty bad course. And from that point forward, there was just a lot that happened that nobody really even had the power to change. It was almost like just this universal thing. It had to happen. I had to go through it. Just one of those things. And that was the first 20 years of my life. There was a lot of other stuff that happened after that. And so I made a list of 58 traumatic memories, a lot of post-traumatic stress type stuff, major violence, super violence, crazy amounts of violence. Where do you think the shoulder surgeries came from and all that? It was an intense first sort of 2 decades of life. That's all I have to say. And going back in to clean that up was one of the most difficult and challenging things I've ever had to do. And we literally looked at every one of the toughest memories, things that we just, as human beings, it is not comfortable to face. Our biology is telling us, run away from this, you know what I mean? Like, this is painful. The mind doesn't want to integrate this. And the psychology is actually fascinating of these types of memories, because your brain literally does not integrate traumatic memories into long-term storage. So the reason why they take so much of your energy and the reason why they affect your psychology and affect your behavior so much is because they live inside short-term memory. They're never able to be processed and deeply integrated, so your brain is constantly reacting to them. It's constantly hyper-vigilant and aware of this memory. And so, for example, if you were abused in some way, violently, sexually, physically, whatever, this program is running in your short-term memory. It's always basically causing you to be vigilant about it. You're super on the lookout. There's all sorts of fears, all sorts of other side effects that we're not even aware of, and it's like processing power. Like, it consumes your energy, and until the memory is really processed and desensitized, it doesn't integrate into long-term storage, where it sort of simply becomes a part of you that your body's not and your mind's not always defending against or protecting against or vigilant about. And so just from a pure energetics standpoint, if you're just looking at us as cars or computers and you're just thinking, how do I optimize efficiency? To be optimized at your most efficient level, it's so important that we're integrated human beings, that we process these memories, that we are running efficiently, that there's not all this sort of unprocessed emotion that's constantly circulating around our RAM, you know, in computer analogies, I guess you could say, or sort of a short-term memory storage. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And it's been a heck of a process, I will tell you that. I can also tell you that just as organically and naturally as it felt to start to become really internal and not want to put energy outward and not want to make these videos and not want to share a lot, there's also was just this moment that came when it felt kind of organic to start sharing again. And all of a sudden the energy, there's more energy available, and now all of a sudden, you know, hey, maybe there is something to share, something to reflect back to everybody, something to teach again. So, hey, what are you doing with your daddy's journal? So maybe the lesson from that is sometimes we don't have to push ourselves. Sometimes maybe just surrendering is the most powerful thing we can do. You know, surrendering to what life has in store for us, surrendering to our growth, surrendering to our highest potential, surrendering to Spirit's plan, not our own plan. You know, once we've received a vision, maybe that's the most powerful thing that we can do. I don't know, but it's certainly a hypothesis to test. So that's just a quick update on what happened to JB Part 2. I hope this video in some way has provided a good reflection for you. Maybe there's ways you can optimize your own efficiency in life. Maybe there's something that you could deal with right now that's been sucking your bandwidth, taking your bandwidth, and you know, it's high time you deal with it. And this doesn't need to be big things. This can also be little things. I mean, it can be as little as a conversation that you need to have with your wife or your partner or your business partner or whoever that you haven't had, and it's bothering you, and that little thing that isn't integrated, you know, that's unresolved, is sucking your bandwidth and taking your energy. And if I can be a stand for anything in life, let me be a stand for this. Let me be a stand for you functioning at your highest level, for you functioning at optimal performance, for you reaching your full potential. I want to be that stand for you. I want you to reach your full potential. So if there's one thing that you could integrate today, if there's one thing you could face or accomplish today so that you free up more energy, so that you can go out and live your Dharma, the life that you were meant to live, to achieve, to create at your full potential, my friends, go do it. Commit today. I'm going to do it. Be a warrior. Take the challenge on. And for those of you who might want to do the type of work that I did, maybe my story can serve as inspiration. That it's not easy. I will promise you that. It's not easy. Maybe it could be. Maybe it's not. And it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. You know, what matters is that we're committed to doing the work. So maybe you get inspired to do, you know, work the way I just did work. Because I can promise you this. If you truly want to live your fullest potential and be your most authentic self, then processing and integrating the unresolved memories and emotions and experiences of our life, there's really no counterpart for that. There's no second. You know, that is one of the most powerful things that you will ever be able to do. And unless you do it, you know, all that stuff is there and it's affecting you. So, you know, maybe my journey over the last year or two inspires you to go on your own. I don't know, but I felt that I needed and wanted to make this video, and it's great to connect with you guys. It's great to share again. I look forward to whatever the future may hold, and be on the lookout for some things coming soon, because I have a feeling like there's some real magic that's getting ready to happen from our camp. Talk to you guys in a bit.